So soon thereafter, Bud, Al, and Steve all go out fishing, and when they come back, they're looking at 3 angry women. What happened? They've all synced up on their menstruation.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun.
Welcome back to another episode of The Rank. I'm John, and today we're going to be ranking the next episode of Married with Children. For those of you who are new to the show, I'm just going to give you an agenda real quick. We're going to start off with the potent notables, which are just a couple interesting facts or tidbits that I found out about the episode or series. Then I do the episode overview, which is just me talking about everything that happened in the episode. Then I do the rank, which is where I rank the episode based on 5 categories on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, all to find out what's the best sitcom of all time. And today we're going to be ranking the 4th episode of the 3rd season of Married with Children, titled The Camping Show. Written by Sandy Sprung and Marcy Vosberg and directed by Jerry Cohen. Now, just so you know, there are going to be spoilers ahead. This show was out 40 years ago, so if you don't want spoilers, you can certainly watch the episode before you watch me. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. Let's find out how this one stacked up, starting with the potent notables.
Potent notables.
So this episode aired on Sunday, December 11th, 1988. This episode was originally titled A Period Piece, but the Fox Network censors thought that women would be offended by the title, even though the episode was written by 2 women, and the series episode titles never appeared on screen. The censors asked the writers to retitle the script, so the writers just named it The Camping Show. So there you go, those are the potent notables. Let's go to the episode overview. So we open the episode in classic Bundy fashion around the food that Peggy is feeding Al. In this case, it's McDonald's, but it's hours old McDonald's, and Al is like, how are you able to do it? You know, basically always make the food somehow worse. And she responds by saying that she cares enough about herself to not care about him. So that's the opener. And this is the endearing thing about this show and their dynamic. Al likes it. It makes it a weirdly sweet moment. I mean, Al suggests that when she talks like that, it makes him want to go plug the leak in the roof, which is both a strange and weirdly uncomfortable euphemism. But we're going to get to the plot of the episode shortly. It's going to be delivered by Steve, who shows up to tell Al that he booked a cabin in the woods and they can go fishing. For some reason, Steve wants Al to join him on the trip. I'm not really sure why Steve would want Al to come on the trip with him, as the relationship between them over the past 2 seasons has not seemed to be all that friendly, but whatever. Al's excited. He's even writing a note to Peggy to explain why he's not there, even suggesting that if she were to take the kids and leave, he would understand. Now, when Steve comes back to pack up Al for the trip, Al is shocked to see Marcy. This, of course, means that Peggy's going to come too, as well as the kids. Although we get a great joke where when Marcy is telling Peggy to pack up the kids, Peggy yells back down, "Not so loud, you'll wake up Al." They both want to take vacations apart from each other. Feels like maybe they just should. Though, as I say that, doing that on what Al makes is probably not feasible. Anyway, by the time they get to the cabin, we discover that Kelly is on her period. And while I do find the sibling rivalry shtick between Kelly and Bud to be a bit played out, there was a really good line from Bud. "Squeaked through another month, eh, Cal?" That one did get me. So soon thereafter, Bud, Al, and Steve all go out fishing, and when they come back, they're looking at 3 angry women. What happened? They've all synced up on their menstruation.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun.
This is one of those classic sitcom plot lines that some male doctor said was true once, and then everyone anecdotally believed it and they made comedy out. On top of that, they continue with the weird menstruation myths by having all the wildlife surround the cabin, not letting anyone leave because they're attracted to the blood, I guess. It's just so dumb, but in that it's so dumb it's funny way. Well, things are going to get worse for everyone, and Al decides he can't take it anymore and he's going to try to get to the car to get food for everyone. Of course, right after he leaves, they all find food under floorboards and forget about Al, who gets mauled by the animals. Poor Al. Of course, the women are going to start feeling better and complaining about the guys being grumps, which is enjoyable. But that's basically the episode. We end with Al asking Steve what's next. A safari in lion country about 28 days from now? I mean, that's good stuff, but let's find out how it ranked.
Oh, rank.
So the rank is where I rank the episode based on 5 categories: story, acting, dialogue, episode coherence, and character relatability. I rank it on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And then I have a laugh counter where I tally up the amount of times the episode made me laugh out loud. 1 point per laugh out loud gets added to the score. And before I dive into the rankings, I just want to say, if you're enjoying this episode, please leave a like down below. It really does help me out. But without further ado, the first category is story, which I gave a 4.75. Look, this is definitely absurd. There's no denying it. But a story where 3 women end up on their periods at the same time while stuck in a cabin in the woods with 3 men. I mean, that's just a good story for comedy writing. So let's go to acting, which I gave a 4.25. Bud's just not very good. But to my great surprise, Amanda Bierce was kind of the standout in this one for me. Her playing being on a period is apparently really good, but everyone was fun in this one, though to a lesser extent for David Faustino because, he's just not very good. All right, so let's go to dialogue, which I gave a 4.5. I mean, it's a bunch of period jokes, which is fine. Honestly, it's more than fine considering the story. It was a really funny episode. I do think the Bud and Kelly dynamic is stale, but it did have some good moments in this episode. So let's go to episode coherence, which I also gave a 4.5. Okay, character-wise, it was great. I just have to mention that the whole women syncing up their periods thing has been proven false. The other thing was the whole wildlife aspect. I'm not going to knock it too much for that, though, because it wasn't the point to be correct. There just needed to be a reason for them to be stuck, and that's pretty fun. So let's go to character relatability, which I gave a 4.5 also. Probably one of the more relatable episodes. Obviously, I can only relate from a male perspective, which is kind of how this one was told, but it felt true for the women as well. Any women that are actually listening to or watching this can comment if you think I'm crazy here, but periods suck, and I thought it was depicted decently. Obviously, it was exaggerated, but I would imagine that if you were able to just let your emotions out with it, it would look somewhat similar. So that's it. Some pretty decent rankings here, a decent laugh counter. We'll put it into the top 3 tiers, and have a lot of laughs in this one. Got me 23 times. So that puts the episode total at a 45.5, which makes it a meaning of life. And for the series, the average is now at a 33.4, which keeps the series as I'd watch it again. So this means that this is actually the highest ranked episode of the show I've done so far. So I wouldn't have thought that about this one, the camping show, but there you go. And if you're ranking along with me, drop your score for this one in the comments. I'm very curious to find out if I'm nuts with my 23 laugh counter there. Is it really that funny, or am I just an idiot? All right, well, thanks for listening and or watching, everybody. If you'd like to see a list of our episode and series rankings, you can do that on our website at therankedpodcast.com. Now, for those of you who've been watching for a while and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and or follow if you're enjoying it. For anybody else out there, you can comment or you can shoot me an email at info or john@therankedpodcast.com with questions, comments, or suggestions, and I will reply to you if you want me to. Please also consider supporting the show by becoming a patron at our Patreon site at patreon.com/therankedpodcast, where you can get access to all of our archived episodes. But I will leave you with this. What consistent feedback did the writers of this episode get?
Let's hear it.
Too much punctuation.
Boo this man!
So this episode aired
Cut!
So this episode aired Sunday, December 11th, 1988.
Cut!
So this episode aired Sunday, December 11th, 1988. Married.
Cut!
Take 3.
So this episode Sunday. this episode Sunday. Okay.
It's gonna be a long day.